Nigerians professionals did not want to come forward to help in managing the patients. And I think this is due to some scare. People are afraid. But I want to say this, that this is a controlled environment. This is a controlled environment. You know that this is contagious. There are procedures to prevent contamination. And if these procedures are strictly adhered to, it is sure that you will not come down with infection. But you see, at times, we don't respect the virus. We get too confident, you know. And that's why you have to work in a team. So why we have this problem is because our professionals have not made up their mind to join us. But this has changed in the last few days. As I'm talking to you now, we have 6 doctors that have been trained and are willing to join in managing the patients.
Well,
we also have about
right
14. No, they've started working already.
Okay.
They started working already.
The Lagos state government has made a lot of appeals to Nigerians to say we need volunteers. Why would we have isolation centers, isolation facilities, which will be run by volunteers?
It's because of the nature of Ebola and they believe that it's a death sentence, but really it's not. And when you look at the situation in Nigeria now, our case fatality rate is just 36%. And I'm sorry I use that just, but that's not what I mean. And when compared to other places,
so compared to Liberia,
yeah,
what's
which
the
is about
fatality
73%. No. In Guinea, it's about 73%. In Liberia, about 50%, and in Sierra Leone, about 43%. So, and of course.
But then when you say that, you have to consider the fact that the numbers as well, in terms of those who are victims.
In other
yeah,
countries.
of course.
Okay, let's talk about the management. On, was it Tuesday or Wednesday, the minister announced that nano-silver, an experimental drug, will be coming in. And you have been to the facility,
yes.
And are these drugs here? Are they being administered? And would you like to comment on the issue of, okay, nano-silver is linked to pesticides?
Okay. Let me say this, that first of all, let me place on record that those in isolation are getting the best of care that they could get right now, and under the circumstance in which we operate. Secondly, I want to say that there are other options are open, and at the moment, all the experts we have on the ground are looking at all the options, and you know that we have to behave responsibly also. We are looking at all the ethical and safety procedures, and we're already evaluating all of this, and after that we will be able to come up with a way forward. But I want to say that those in isolation now are having good care, and some are improving already. They are ambulant and may be released in the next few days.
Do we have nano-silver with us now?
Yes, but okay. we are evaluating the
okay,
safety.
It's not being administered yet.
It's not being administered
okay,
yet.
Is there any
we have to evaluate the safety, we have to evaluate how to use it, and all those sort of things.
Is there any link with the pesticides?
Well, this is still an investigative drug, so I will not be able to say much on it now. But in due course, you will hear more about it.
So you're saying, in essence, that you cannot confirm categorically that that is pure rumor and it has no basis. You cannot confirm that.
I cannot confirm that at the moment, and the experts on ground, we have a large participation of experts on ground.
Okay, let me put it another way then. So in essence, there's a possibility that actually it just might be true that it is linked to pesticide.
Let me say this, that I think we run a risk of of having a distraction here, because when you look at Ebola, what it does to you is it compromises your circulatory system, and damages, I mean, it inhibits your body to be able to cope with the regulation of the body system. So in this circumstance, what is most important as it is now is that's what we're doing now, is to do supportive therapy, because it leads to dehydration. So you rehydrate the person and you treat the symptoms. So at the moment, what we're doing now is to concentrate on these very important procedures to do them, to ensure that patients get better. Of course, we're also looking at other measures. We're looking at other options, and we're making professional decisions on site to evaluate.
Okay. And just so I'm really sorry I'm going on and on about this. I just need to be clear, because I'm getting a lot of questions coming in via Twitter saying you need to tell us. Are you saying for sure that it is not likely that it can be linked to a pesticide, or are you saying you really don't know? It could be.
Yeah, silver has a lot of use. It has a lot of use, and I know there's a lot of information on it on the internet and whatever. So it can be used for so many things,
including pesticides.
Well, including it's on the internet anyway.
Including pesticides.
Including pesticides.
Okay.
But now we are talking about nanoparticles. We're talking about nanoparticles. It's not like just silver, give it like that. So we're thinking about nanoparticles. So it's a little bit, what we're looking at is not just a straight answer to say, okay, this is pesticide, this is that. So the method of delivery also has to be known, to be evaluated, and things like that.
Okay, now let's go back to the issue of awareness.
Yes.
You would agree with me that a whole lot of information is out there, misinformation, and people don't seem to still have a grab of how this Ebola is transmitted. And people don't want to, there's a whole lot of things going on out there. So you want to clarify some of these issues.
Okay. First, let me start by saying that right from the onset of this outbreak epidemic, the Federal Ministry of Health and the Lagos State government and others that are involved have been very, very transparent about information, because we realize that if you don't bring out the information out there, people are bound to speculate. So that's why you see that I can tell you that every day at the end of every evening, we prepare press statement in case you need to make a press statement. So, and we have been giving you information, and whatever we have said is the truth. That's number one. Now, as to the awareness on how it is transmitted, the reservoir is animals anyway, and some people have talked, you have heard a lot about fruit bats and some antelopes, some gorillas and something like that. But then it is also when the human activity and animal activity comes together, then there can be direct contact, and that's it. And then thereafter it goes from human to human. Also, that's now, and then you can have indirect contact, maybe a patient is here now, was here, and then the surface of this table it's contaminated, and then you come in touch with it. So then you can get contaminated.
Yes, I should think that people know some of this that you have said.
Yes.
But the particular one is a patient, as we have heard several times, that except the person has come down with symptoms, then it's not infectious. Would you want to expatiate on that?
Yes, that's correct. Somebody gets in contact, and then the incubation period is between 2 and 21 days. But mostly people who are infected become infectious when they are symptomatic. And that coincides. I mean, that means when they start having fever.
So before fever, if you have a handshake, you're deemed to be, at least a bit safe.
Yeah, you are a bit safe. You are a bit safe.
You should. And we were talking about washing of hands. And
and that's why we have to wash hands all the time. You touch a place, you don't know whether it's contaminated. You have to wash your hands. And so basic hygiene. And one thing is that you say the onset of fever, because people are looking at this now and say, oh, why is it that before the symptoms? Because it's when the virus divides and goes massively into the blood. And that's when you start having these symptoms, like fever comes in. And as soon as fever comes in and any of those symptoms comes in, you pick up the contact fast to be evaluated.
Okay, now, before now there's been fever. We need to wrap this up. But before now, people have been having fevers. And I hear now that even some hospitals don't want to. If you come with fever and God help you, you add vomiting, then you're not going to, you're just going to be left alone and nobody's going to attend to you. Would you like to even, talk to the healthcare providers too, and even the people, that every fever is not likely to be Ebola?
In just 1 or 2 sentences, because we must wrap up now.
Yes. I think this is that self-development, because health workers, I think I can understand also because health workers have taken the brunt of this outbreak. But then health workers should endeavor to assess their patients. The only thing that I think they need to take care of is make sure that they observe infection control practices, something basic that they have been taught in school. And one thing is this, that if you find a patient with fever, vomiting, do barrier nursing, put on your gloves. There are procedures for barrier nursing. I don't have to state that here now. Okay. Do barrier nursing. Make sure that you prevent transmission of infection. And these are standard procedures which they should practice.
Okay,
Thank you.
Just as you're going, we've got loads of questions on Twitter, but we can't take all of them. Let me just ask you this. I understand that there's been 1.9 billion naira that the federal government has allocated to help with Ebola. How is this being dispersed?
We have there is an EOC, this Emergency Operations Center, and there is a leader of the EOC, and within that, there is an operational plan which has been put together. And this is
within that plan.
Within that plan that all of.
And does this cut across the entire nation, or is only coming to the states?
It cuts across the entire nation.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming this morning. We've been speaking with a representative from the Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Joshua Obasonya. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And so we go on another break, and we'll be back.